Okay, it says we are live, but I have to check
Yes,
every time.
of course. I'll tell you if it comes up.
Okay, I think we are live.
Woohoo!
So, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. These are some very impromptu kind of Victober reading sprints that Christy agreed to do with me. We've been talking about it for a while, but I realized I didn't announce it or anything because we just had Hurricane Ian here and I was fearful that I wouldn't have power. Luckily, everything went well and here we are. But so I know this was very last minute, so we can wait a few minutes while people come on. But oh, hello, some people are already here.
Hello.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hello, Agatha. Yay, we have a lot
There's
of people here. Thank you, Kate. It was super scary. Oh, Brazil. You're so far away. But I guess we're in the same time zone. I always forget that.
Thank you for the kisses.
Yes.
They made it. We got them. Yay.
Hi.
Hi, Stephanie.
Tony once again
Tony.
joining us in the wee hours of the UK morning.
Yes.
So these are some Victober themed sprints, but you don't have to read for Victober. You can just read whatever you're currently reading with us. But Christy, what are you going to be reading tonight?
Well, I want to make some progress on the Pickwick Papers, but I do have Lord Jim here, which I honestly might just jump straight into because I'm so eager for that. What about you?
I have been reading A Penny Dreadful for the past few days, and it's a wild ride, but it's something called The Necromancer, and I should have known. I think Kate Howe read something by this same author a couple of years ago, Wagner the Werewolf, maybe, and she couldn't get through it, it seems like. And he is very wordy, and I should have just listened to her
Oh
because
no.
it's a long, drawn out thing. But it's gonna be fun. I feel like now I'm about halfway through. Maybe it's gonna start kicking up. But
Okay.
my Kindle has been on the fritz today, so if it decides to go to sleep for a little while, I'm going to read The Mayor of Casterbridge, the group read.
Nice. You know, adventure books always sound so fun, and then sometimes when you start them, it's like, oh, I can't handle it, the style or whatever.
Yeah, and he's
Oh.
very repetitive. And I guess that's just the way, like when a book was serialized,
Mm,
maybe that he wanted to reacquaint you with what was going on. Like maybe you had forgotten it, but it is
right.
just over and over again the same thing. But Stephanie, The Tenant of Wildfeld Hall is wonderful, one of the best. I agree. The Pickwick Papers. Are you liking it so far, Christy?
Yeah, I'm not very far in, but there's just humor in every line. It's great.
It's funny, yeah. Well, she says, are we about to do the sprints just today or will we do it more throughout the month? I thought just today, but you never know. Maybe
Yes,
if I can grab Christy again, maybe we will do it
definitely.
again. Because I find reading sprints make me far more productive. They
Yes,
really make me focus.
same. I don't often sit down to read like during the day. Usually my reading is at night. So this definitely makes me read more.
Yes. One of my favorites, Brooke. It's really fast moving. That's a long one that doesn't feel long. But this book I'm reading has got to be 700 pages and it feels it. It really does.
Oh, 700 pages.
It's got to be. But oh, Kate, that sounds so good. I want to try Charlotte Mary Young so bad. I feel like I'm gonna really like her. Well, how do y'all like to go about it? Do you like a long sprint first? Do you like a short sprint first?
It seems like every host does it differently.
It does. It does.
I
Hmm.
say do your preference, but obviously we can ask.
I say we go for it and we go for a long sprint first.
All right. I like long
Maybe
sprints too.
you do. I figured you did.
Yes.
So what do you think? 20 or 30?
Hmm. I'm good with 30.
Okay, me too. Okay. So are we ready? Should we go on and get started? Should we do our first sprint?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Well, then we'll be doing it from for some weird minutes. We'll be going from '07 to 37.
I love it.
So, let's do it. I think we can do it, everyone.
Yay.
Yay.
Let's do it.
All right. How did we do?
Hi. I almost finished chapter 1, and it's so exciting already.
Of Lord Jim?
Yes.
What is that one about?
Well, we're following a boy who has a secret, and he's just known as Jim. And you know that I think there's more to his name than that, but anytime that surfaces, he will just leave the dockyard where he's working and find another one. So he's protecting his secret. And I think we're getting into the backstory already, but it's like an exciting one. It involves shipwrecking.
Ooh,
Yes.
you kind of had a Joseph Conrad year.
Yes. I really love his style. It's like so absorbing, and like it takes me a while to really um be able to focus enough to like read it thoroughly, but I want to catch every detail because it's like so worth it, you know? Really good. How about you?
I think I made it 7%. It's hard to track how far I made it in a Kindle, but I'll
Yeah.
admit at this point I'm skimming a little bit of
Oh
what he's
no.
saying.
Yeah.
So I don't even know that I said the name of this. This is called The Necromancer. And it's about like women who have gone missing over a couple of centuries, basically all being taken by the same man or by the same family. And it's set in the time of Henry VIII. That's
Oh.
great. But it's like he's tried to make the language sound like they would really talk in the Tudor period.
Oh.
And I just feel like it's clunky, but I decided to read a little bit about him, and he outsold Charles Dickens and Thackeray. This guy's name was George W.M. Reynolds, and he was supposedly the most popular author at the time.
Wow.
I'm really stunned by that. When he died, everyone was really upset because they thought he was like the most popular. I don't know
Me
about
too.
that, George. I don't know, George. I think there's a reason you didn't stand the test of time. Poor fella.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Hi,
Hi,
Rainy.
Rainy.
Hi. Stephanie got a few chapters of Wildfeld Hall in. Yes, it's really good. That's another kind of like intriguing one, a little bit, that there's something you kind of have to figure out as you're going along. Have you read this one, Christy?
Not yet.
You would love it.
Really? Oh, I
Yes.
own it. So,
Yes. I feel like you would love it.
ooh, okay, that's exciting.
17 pages is very good.
Good job, Amanda.
Good job, Amanda.
Did you say you're reading Babel, Amanda?
Oh, yes. Babel's on my TBR.
I know mine too.
One short chapter in Mary Barton and The Odd Women by George Gissing. I almost put The Odd Women on my TBR this year.
I think it's on my Goodreads list.
Mm-hmm. But I love Mary Barton.
Yes. Kate Howe's Patreon is doing 2 discussions of it. It's exciting.
There are like 2 very distinct parts to Mary Barton, it feels like.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good choice. Tony read 14 Christina Rossetti poems. Ooh. I love some Gothic poetry. I really need to try her.
I mean, if Goblin Margaret is any indication.
Right. She's always. Ooh, Brooke read a couple of chapters of The Woman in White.
Yes.
Melissa, you stated earlier that you were in the final stretch of Great Expectations, and I wondered if you made it to the very end. It is such a soap opera there at the very end, and that's what makes it so good. It's like you're watching The Young and the Restless. I just love it. Ooh, another Dickens. Amanda's reading Bleak House. I want to try Bleak House. I've already DNF'd Nicholas Nickleby.
Oh no.
I made it 100 pages in and I just was not living, laughing, loving. You know, it was not the time for that. I feel like his earlier stuff must be a hard sell for me, but I loved the Pickwick Papers. So I don't know. I need to just come back to that. But ooh, thank you, Rainey. That kind of makes me excited. That makes me want to move it up my TBR. I've heard his language, though, that George Gissing is a little bit dense. And that's what kind of scares me off. I agree, Stephanie, it does. Rainey is also working on the Pickwick Papers.
We're buddy reading it.
Oh, are you? Oh, that's so much fun.
Yes. I need to box them, actually. Our group. They're all ahead of me, I'm sure.
Tony is on Oliver Twist. I've also DNF'd Oliver Twist, Tony, for a lot of what you're saying here. I was uncomfortable with a lot of the language. It was one of the few that has really bothered me. Sometimes you can accept that things were written in a different time, but sometimes it just really grates on me, and Oliver Twist was one of those times.
Stephanie has a story about that, but I forget if it was in a video or not.
Oh,
yes.
She looked it up. Oh, did she? Stephanie, let us know.
Yeah. What was it, Stephanie, that you learned?
I'm glad to hear, Rainey, that you didn't think it was dense. So hopefully it's not. Maybe it's just a particular book of his, but I feel like Katie from Books and Things mentioned one time, like, the density of his language. And that worried me. Stephanie, I hope you do love it. It's not a bad book. I just was not into it. Every time I put it down, I didn't want to pick it back up. So that was just a sign to me that I maybe was not in the mood to read it yet. So I think I'm going to try another Dickens. Yes, Amanda's reading Babel. Babel feels like it has a lot of Victober vibes.
Yeah, kind of. It's like it has age, it feels like, just by nature of the subject matter.
Yes. Elizabeth, you are correct. Elizabeth, you are correct. It is George Meredith. Thank you. You're not dealing with the top brass. It's the end of the day. My noodle is empty. Tony loved the Pickwick Papers and didn't expect it to be as laugh out loud funny as it was. I know. Rainey and Christy are in for a treat.
Yay. I read the last chapter of it, or the first chapter of it last night, and it was like, it's like written in the style of the minutes of a meeting. And so I was like not fully focused, I think, because I was like, I just need to go back and read it. I have no idea what that said. And now that I'm reading it more closely, it's very funny. Like, I see why it's there now.
Just finished Trollops the Warden. That's such a sweet story. Ooh, Stephanie says the language in Oliver Twist was difficult. A lady did write him and call him out on it. He was more positive later in his career. It is in her Oliver Twist video. Thanks, okay. Stephanie. I knew that he had tried to, like, make up for Fagin in another character later on in his career, so good for him to learn from his mistakes.
Yes. That's all we can really, any of us do.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay. Well, shall we do another sprint?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Another 30-minute sprint. Is that good with you?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
All right, let's do it. We're back on it again.
Yes.
With 7 to 7. So let me do some math here. 17, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. Let's do it.
Yes. Fighting.
All right. How did everybody do?
Hey. This book is so good.
Oh, good.
Oh
I
my god.
wondered if you were annotating.
Yes, I am. I can't help it. It's kind of like you and the German author. What's his name?
Thomas Mann, was that the one that I was doing
Yeah.
the last
Yes.
time?
Yeah, it's like you and Thomas Mann. You can't help it. You
Yeah.
just have to. It's so beautiful or profound or whatever. I feel like if Washington Irving wrote novels, it would be similar to this, the way he characterizes people, because there's like so much humor, but like also a depth of understanding about human nature and folly and whims and stuff like that. So I love it.
Oh, well, good.
How about you?
I went rogue and I started The Mayor of Casterbridge. I decided to take a break from my Penny Dreadful and go into the Mayor of Casterbridge, and I made it 30 pages in. It's interesting so far. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I
Is that
don't
a
know.
reread?
No, I've never read this one before.
Okay.
And I don't really know much about it. Like, I don't really know where it's going. I know a man sells his wife and child, but that's already over. Like, that happened automatically. And so now I'm kind of curious as to what the plot of the rest of the book is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. Hopefully, it's good.
Yes, there's some really beautiful descriptions in there. So
Oh, have
hopefully,
you read this one?
yeah.
Oh,
That's the only Hardy I've read.
oh, I started to say, do you tend to like Thomas Hardy?
I liked it. Yeah. It was
Okay.
really beautiful.
So far, it's been really beautiful. I had to break out a highlighter.
Yes.
Hi.
Yay.
Stephanie got a few more chapters in.
Yes.
Ooh, Melissa has 15 more pages left, and it's at a really exciting part right now. Yes. The end is so good.
You can finish in our next sprint, Melissa.
Yes, you are definitely like your Victober has gotten off to a good start. Early success. Oh, Amanda was listening to it. Oh, you're braver than me.
Yeah.
It is the only Stephen King I've ever read, but I really enjoyed it. But I feel like audio would be very atmospheric, very scary.
I could not handle that book.
It was wild.
Yeah. I really loved Stephen King's writing autobiography, his memoir.
Hmm.
Everything else by him is too scary.
I know his prose is so beautiful. I hope one day that he like steps out of his comfort zone and does something wild and off the wall and just like writes literary fiction or something so that we can get his prose elsewhere. But he is very scary. I didn't know,
Yes.
Elizabeth, that you were also reading The Tenant of Wildfeld Hall. So that's a popular one tonight.
Yes.
Ooh, I've heard of The Final Strife. And apparently Stephanie loves that one.
Stephanie's read like everything.
She has like such a varied reader, Stephanie
Yes.
is. There were parts of Great Expectations that bored me, I can't deny, but when it's good, it's really good. It's true. I feel like I need to admit that there are parts of all Dickens books that are kind of draggy or just I don't know. Again, I feel like that must just be the result of doing things in a serialized form. I don't know that Great Expectations was serialized since it's relatively short for him, but I feel like they just spent so much time trying to refamiliarize you with the plot or
Mhm.
doing things so episodically that there were definitely going to be parts of it that you didn't enjoy.
Mhm. That's got to affect the storytelling.
Yeah. Tony read another chunk of Christina Rossetti. The last one I read, The Convent Threshold, was amazing. Ooh.
All right.
I need
I'm
to get a
reading it up.
collection of her poetry.
Same. People are really pulling out the poetry this Bigtober. It's kind of exciting.
It is, and I know very little about Victorian poetry, so I'm excited to see what everyone reads and whether they like it.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Betty. Okay, Betty has read Mayor of Casterbridge and likes Hardy. I feel like I do too. I don't know. Some of his books, I'm like, that was just okay. But some of them, I think, wow, that was incredible. So I hope this is one of the ones that's wow worthy. Okay. We have someone saying that the Mayor of Casterbridge is their
Wow.
favorite Hardy.
Okay. I
That's
haven't heard that before.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Ooh, Betty started reading Elizabeth Gaskell's The Grey Women from Gothic Tales.
Yay.
Did you read her Gothic Tales last year, Christy?
I didn't. I haven't read any of her short stories yet.
I haven't either.
I need to.
Feels like a big gap.
Yeah.
Oh, Melissa has more than 15 pages left. She got 15 more read.
Okay.
But it won't be long now. That's right. You could finish tonight.
Can do it.
Rainy finished chapter 5.
Go Rainy. I'm ordering poetry.
You're ordering poetry? Maybe I should too. Maybe I will too.
I tried that one.
You tried it and you didn't like it?
Yeah. I probably didn't have to like 4 or 5 of his books, to be honest.
A scandal. Drama on book 2.
I'm sorry. He's not for me.
This one is on my TBR, and I know I would eat it up. So I don't know why I haven't tried it yet, but I love time travel.
That is fun. Yes.
Great Expectations was serialized. Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. Penny, I hope you also enjoy The Mayor of Casterbridge. So far, so good. My favorite was Far from the Madding Crowd, says Betty. That was my favorite for a long time until I read darn, what is it? What is my favorite one?
In your last video, the one you mentioned?
Is it right? Is it really my favorite? I don't even know if I can remember the name. I can see the cover of it in my head. I have to look it up right now.
I know, me too.
Return of the Native. Return of the Native is my favorite.
Okay.
Yes.
So not the what was
Two on a Tower. Two on a Tower. I also really like.
Okay.
I feel like you would like that, Christy.
You think so?
Yes. Okay. I think it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Tony has. Ooh, sonnets from the Portuguese. I have a collection that includes sonnets from the Portuguese in it. I don't know how I feel about the Brownings, but I'm going to give them a try.
Hopkins is really beautiful. His poetry is amazing.
Stephanie, Christy, if you get kicked off of BookTube, if you do.
Yeah, even Noah likes Stephen King. Like everybody likes Stephen King but me. I'm sorry.
Betty, you knew exactly where I was going. Yes, Return of the Native. Brooke read a couple more chapters of Woman in White, but stopped to make pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. A good reason to stop.
Yes.
An important reason to stop. I wish I had a pumpkin chocolate chip cookie.
Yes.
Elizabeth also loves Hopkins, Christy.
Yay! Yeah, He's great. Oh man, I am hopping on this poetry train.
What are you getting? Are you gonna get
I'm gonna
just
order.
Christina?
I'm gonna get Christina Rossetti, and I'm gonna get some Bronte poetry.
Ooh,
I hate to put them all together because they were all very distinct writers, but I'm not sure which one I'll get yet.
Betty also has never read a king, so you're not the only one not interested in his novels.
Thank you.
Well, should we do it again? Should we go for another long sprint? Or are you
Yeah.
feeling like we should slow it down?
I'm good for long, but I totally understand if you want to slow it down.
I say let's do long again.
Yes.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
let's do it.
I'm gonna
Fighting.
yes, I'm gonna say 30 to I'm just gonna do even this time. I'll give us a couple extra minutes in
Okay.
this 30-minute sprint just so that we can have kind of an even number.
Perfect.
Right. Are you gonna continue on with Lord Jim?
I really want to, but I should probably switch to Pickwick. Yeah. So that's probably what I'll do. What about you?
I think I'm gonna stick with the Mayor of Casterbridge.
All right.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Okay. How did we do this time?
Well, I finally finished chapter 1 of Pickwick Papers. And I'm into chapter 2, and it's just very, very funny. Slow going for me so far, but
Well, you're making progress.
yes, I've started both of my main Victober picks now. So we're good. And Jane Eyre. I'm reading Jane Eyre at nighttime.
Oh, are you listening to that?
No, reading it physically. It's like so easy to read physically, and I don't know why. Maybe because it's like first person, just one perspective. So yeah, most books are like in third. It seems like most classics.
It
But I
does.
yeah, maybe that's false. But it seems like a lot of them are.
And I feel like I enjoy a classic more actually when it's written in first person.
Ooh.
And I don't typically think of myself as somebody who really likes that tense, but I
Mhm.
think it's kind of nice in a classic to get to know the character so well.
Yeah, and not be like hopping all over. I agree. How was your reading?
I made it a few more chapters in to the Mayor of Casterbridge. I'm on chapter 9.
Woo.
I'm obsessed with a character named Donald. Obsessed with him. He's just read poetry at a bar. Vibe. We love him. I always have a crush on at least one character in a Thomas Hardy novel, so I guess it's Donald.
Yes. I don't even remember. Is that like a main character? Is that like a
I hope he's going to be a main character. I feel like he is going to be like a romantic character for one of the other women, for like the daughter. But
Okay.
maybe not. I don't know. I'm sure it's not going to be the main thing, but I like him.
Apologies.
No, well maybe I don't know. I don't know anything, so it's kind of wild.
The same thing happens with K-pop though too. We end up really loving one member of this 8-person team, and then when I hear you love this person, I'm like, I'm gonna pay more attention to him.
Yeah, sometimes you can't even choose.
Yes.
You just like move around.
Yes.
Rainey switched to an audiobook, which I think is a great idea to do in a reading sprint. And
Mhm.
she's reading Olive. I saw that you posted on Instagram about this, Rainey. Are you enjoying this? I have heard Katie from Books and Things talk this up for so long, and I think I would really like it, but maybe not. It seems like Kate Howe had mixed opinions on this one. And I sometimes jive with what Kate recommends. So,
Mhm. I'm so curious. The
oh,
one by Emma Gannon, or is it a different one?
I think it's by gosh, that fast. It literally has left my brain that fast.
I'll look it up on Instagram. You said Rainy posted about it.
Yes, Dinah Mullock Craik.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this might be the only novel of hers that I know anything about. Tony has 3 poems left in his Christina Rossetti collection. It is 2 a.m. in London. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It's
You are
crazy.
so dedicated.
Oh, Agatha, elections are stressful. I heard about the election in Brazil. It's always a crazy, stressful time. Stephanie says things are happening and I am loving it. I know what part you're at. It's so good. Maybe a cat is 40 pages away from finishing. I'm so close. Yes, you can do it. Amanda is 18 pages. got 18 pages in Babel. And they mentioned buying the latest Penny Dreadfuls. Well, I hope they weren't buying the Necromancer. I hope not. Gosh.
The premise sounded so promising too.
It really did. He just goes on and on. But I'm gonna try another one by him. He wrote like something called The Mysteries of London, which was based on the Mysteries of Paris, which I've heard is really good. He wrote a Faust retelling.
Ooh.
Yes. So I feel like I need to give him another shot. Page 515 in Middlemarch and absolutely loving it. Yes. I read Middlemarch in my first Victober, and sometimes I think about how crazy that was. Like, why was that one of my first options? Like, I'd never read Victorian literature before, and I was like, I guess I'm going to read Middlemarch. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Not sure if I'm going to finish tonight. I'm getting sleepy. I'll definitely finish tomorrow, though. I agree, Melissa. It's getting late. So, but you made good progress. You're almost at the end.
This was very productive.
This was. So many people have like made it almost to the end.
Yeah.
Rainey also likes first person in classics. Yes. Donald sounds fabulous. He is.
Hi, Kate.
He sounds so lovely. He's not been described yet, which I'm shocked. Oh, yes, he has. Yes, he has. I'm sorry. Thomas Hardy described the down on the back of his neck. So like where your hair meets your neck and it's that really soft baby hair. He described that at length. That's one thing I have to appreciate about Thomas Hardy. He is going to let you know who is handsome. Donald sounds like a good egg. You're right, Stephanie. He is going on the book. He is going on the book Boyfriends.
Oh, okay. I know who he is now.
Okay.
I think he's referred to by a different name for some of the books. That's why I didn't remember his first name.
Well, I've been listening to a little bit of it on audiobook while reading it because there's some dialect in it and I find that hard to read. So sometimes I like to listen to it aloud. And that was something that I noticed, like the audiobook says an entirely different name for a person and an entirely different name for like the bar where they're at. Oh, so he must have like rewritten it or something. Rainey also is struggling with heavy dialect. That is one of my biggest pet peeves in books. I just can't do it. Stephanie, I feel like Middlemarch is going to be your cup of tea. I feel like you'll really be able to sink your teeth into it. Have you read that, Christy?
No, not yet.
I don't know how you would feel about it. And that's why I want you to read it.
I will probably think that it's too long. Just based on my current feeling about long books.
It is. It's very long.
But Stephanie has convinced me to try Adam Bede for sure. So maybe I will try Middlemarch.
And I know Kate loved Adam Bede.
Yes, and Daniel Deronda. So I have to try all three of them before I officially give up. Everybody keeps commenting on my channel. Based on your preferences, you should love George Eliot. Okay, I'll try her again.
I feel like you would, though, like some of her books.
Yeah, maybe I just read the wrong ones first.
Yeah, I feel like she's up and down for me. Some things I have, like I loved Romola. And I loved Middlemarch, but it took me 3 or 4 tries to get into Romola. So I don't know that says very much for me.
Okay. And that's even with it being about, it was set in Italy. What's the name of the guy who's like he's like an interesting historical figure and he's in the book. And I know you were interested in him.
Oh, Savonarola.
Savonarola, yeah.
Savonarola, yes. Ooh, it was so good.
Yes.
Melissa is going to go for some Victorian children's lit and start Black Beauty. I've seen a lot of people put Black Beauty on their TBR this year, and some people say it's super sad. But some people have said it's not. But it seems like I read like the dumbed down children's version when I was a child, and it was sad to me.
Oh dear. Animal stories like always are.
Yeah.
They're a happy ending for an animal story.
No. But I think this did a lot. Like, I think Black Beauty did a lot for how people treated horses, especially working horses. So I'm sure it was needed.
Yes.
Betty also enjoyed Adam Bede.
I think Betty and I are on the same page. I'm going to have to try that one.
Nat's trying to work on Ruth by Elizabeth Gaskell. I have DNF'd Ruth before because it was heavy. It had nothing to do with her writing or the plot. It just was a lot to read. So, have you read that, Christy? Have you read all of Elizabeth Gaskell?
Not yet. No. I still need to read Cranford as well. And there's another one that Kate just mentioned that I can't remember. I'll have to look it up now. Apparently my memory is gone, guys.
Mine is too. It's like we get on these live shows and I no longer have a thought left in this brain. Oh, Elizabeth loves Daniel Deronda. I started that last Victober and I'm not sure why I put it down.
Maybe an audiobook would help.
Maybe it would. See, this is bad because now I want to read everything everyone else is reading and I want to reread things. Now everyone's talking about The Tenant of Wildfell Hall.
Buddy read.
Yes, buddy read. Oh, we need to do it.
Let's do it.
Rainey is not sure how you would feel about Middlemarch.
I know Victoria did not like it, and I feel like Naomi did not like it. So now I don't know. But
I feel like Naomi didn't like it either.
Because I think Victoria and Naomi buddy read it, and they were pulling each other through it. So, yeah.
Tony has given up worrying about long reads after he finished Proust or Proust. I'm never quite sure how to say his name. Is it Proust?
I don't know either.
But after that, everything seems like a breeze. I'm sure it does.
Probably.
That's on the bookish bucket list for me.
I've heard that if you read hard things, you will get better at reading, and that's what happens. You'll become better at it, and everything else will seem easier. I don't know if that's totally true, but that's what I read that in Atomic Habits or something like that. I don't know. Sylvia's Lovers, by the way, was the other Gaskell that I really want to read.
Yes, that's on my TBR too.
Yes.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so behind on the comments. Ooh, Agatha bought The Marble Fawn because of me. Is it a good book to read in autumn? I think it is. It's just it kind of feels like very dark academia, like you should be in a museum looking at art pieces. And I feel like that's very autumnal. But it could also be summery because it's kind of set in the summer part of the time. It's a good book for all times of the year. I did read Romola last Victober. It was my first Victober read last year, and I think it wound up being my favorite, weirdly enough. Oh, Kate also loved The Marble Fawn. Yes, it's so good.
Literally, I've only read The Scarlet Letter by him. And I don't know why, because it was so atmospheric and I loved the writing.
His writing is so pretty. Mm-hmm. I want to read more by him. I know he has some ghost stories for this time of year that would be fun to read.
Yes.
And I promise we'll sprint again. but my book of the month pick this month, and I don't have it yet, is called Hester. And it is a
Ooh.
historical fiction about a woman who meets Nathaniel Hawthorne like out and about. And I don't know if she helps him write the Scarlet Letter or if she's like the inspiration for Hester, but I thought it
Oh,
sounded really good.
that
I'm
does sound really good.
I'm kind of excited about it.
I always go to you for my new releases. You always are. You're so well informed. I'm just so impressed.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I'm just paying attention to stuff I don't need to pay attention to. Well, I think this might be my last sprint of the night. So maybe
Yes,
should we do another 30-minute sprint, end on a high note?
I'm down.
All right. Let's do it.
Woohoo! I'm impressed. You want to keep going.
Well, I'm feeling like I'm on a roll.
Same. We're enjoying what we're reading. That is such a good thing. That's so fun. I'm glad you
Yes.
put down the Penny Dreadful.
Yes, me too. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Fighting.
Fighting.
We did it. Yay.
Yay! Good job, everybody.
Yes. I hope that the last sprint was really productive for everyone. I made it to 100 pages
Oh my
in, which
gosh.
is amazing.
Yay. You are like flying through that.
I'm really enjoying it. Just
Yay!
loving it. His writing is so pretty.
It really is. Yeah. It's honestly worth reading just for that.
It really is. I mean, he had a whole chapter just dedicated to like a Roman amphitheater in Casterbridge, and like described how people will dig in the ground and see like a gladiator like holding their spear or something. It was just beautiful.
That's the part that I was thinking you would like.
Yes. It
I
was
remember that part.
on brand.
Yes.
How did you do?
I just feel like so slow, but it's funny, so that's good. I met the talkative character who everything he says is just hilarious. He speaks in a series of phrases and dashes, you know?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I know exactly.
He's hilarious. And he makes a great pair for Mr. Pickwick because Mr. Pickwick has plenty to write down in his notebook. So that's pretty fun. Success.
Kate finished her library school reading. Nothing more Victorian than libraries, right? Correct.
Yes.
That was something that you needed to do to read for school. I also got a lot of reading done, Stephanie. I'm so glad that it was productive for you.
Yes.
Melissa has 30 more pages to go. Dickens is really tugging at my heartstrings at this point. Yeah. That's the one I cried at.
Oh.
I did. I was like heartwarmed. Cried. Like it was sad, but it was like a happy sad. I don't know if that even makes sense, but
that makes sense. I didn't know that was your vibe though.
yeah, no, I know, not really, but I do. I love Great Expectations. Rainy, wow. Rainy made it to chapter 5 of Olive. It's so sad already, but there's some hope of better things. Oh gosh, I don't think I realized that was supposed to be sad. I'll be interested to see how you feel about that, Rainy, as you get further into it.
Rainy, have you been knitting while you're listening?
I'm sure she has.
I love her project so much. It's amazing.
I wish that was my talent. I wish I was a cross stitcher.
I love your journaling talent.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Up to part 6 of Middlemarch. Wow. Yes. You made a lot of progress.
Good job.
Yes. Well, we got in, I guess, a solid hour and a half of reading. Which is crazy to think about.
Nice. Those were so cute.
Thank you, Rainy.
It is. Plus, it's productive. You can get to know different K-pop members through your journaling.
That's true. That's why I do it. And it's a positive energy. So I understand why Rainy does it. It's nice to do something and you feel like this is just my little happy space. So we all need our little crafting hobbies.
Yes. So cute. Well, I don't craft at all. I'm not very good at it.
I'm sure your thing is out there. Maybe you're like somebody who paints rocks. Maybe you're like a rock garden person and you don't know it.
I really like drawing, but I'm just always like, I read so slowly that I'm always like, no, I need to be actually reading. But you can listen to audiobooks and draw. So I should get back to it.
That's right. Kate, her happy space is reorganizing her books.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
See,
Yeah.
you can draw on the rocks and then paint them. I think we found it.
Oh,
We need to find a craft for Christy. Christy's Crafts. You can have
yes.
your own like Instagram handle, your own YouTube channel.
I could start my 4th channel.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe after I tackle Korean.
Yes. Well, thanks y'all for coming and hanging out tonight. This was really fun. I feel like I achieved a lot. I feel like y'all achieved a lot.
Thank you for putting this together. This was so fun.
Yes, we'll have to do some more reading sprints.
Yes. Somebody earlier asked if we're a regular book club.
Oh my gosh, I wish we were.
Yes.
That we should be a regular book club.
And we would have to feel very free to DNF, though.
Yes. Hi, Randall.
Thank you. Hi.
Oh, I've heard a lot about Dorothy Dunnett, and I feel like I would like her. She's big on my TBR.
Me too.
Yes, happy Victober, everyone.
Yes.
Hashtag Christie's Crafts. We've already got the hashtag ready.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
Now Betty wants to start the Pickwick Papers. You should, Betty. I feel like it's a thing. I feel like a lot of people have also chosen that for their Victober.
It's good timing with Katie from Books and Things doing her. Yeah.
I can't believe that. That's so exciting.
Yes.
Me too, Kate. Well, thanks, y'all. I guess I will wrap up the live stream here, but thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Definitely now, we definitely need to do some more sprints.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, bye, everyone. Have a good night. Happy Victober.
Happy Victober. Good night.